Do you worry that by speaking your truth, that it will harm your relationships?
Well, nobody ever really considered me, but I think that everyone is allowed to say their truth.
Jamie Lynn Spears describes growing up in the chaotic Spears family, the relentless pressure of chasing stardom taking its toll.
I know you see me standing here.
Overnight, the Nickelodeon star of Zoe 101 turned scandalized pregnant teenager.
I've never shared anything in long form.
Sharing her own mental health struggles and her daughter's brush with death in her memoir, Things I Should Have Said. But her book, generating international headlines, and this story in particular, seemingly striking a nerve with her superstar sister, Britney.
In the book, you describe an incident where Britney takes a knife, says she's scared, and locks you and herself into a room. Why did you want to include that in the book?
Because, first off, I think that experiencing my own panic attacks and how sometimes we can feel in those moments is important, but also it's important to remember that I was a kid in that moment. I was scared. That was an experience I had, but I also was fearful to really say anything because I didn't want to upset anybody, but I also was so upset that she didn't feel safe.
Jamie Lynn's newfound outspokenness pitting sister against sister, prompting Britney to lash out on Twitter. You've stooped to a whole new level of low. I have never been around you ever with a knife, and I would never think to do such. So please stop these crazy lies for Hollywood books. Britney repeatedly posting, deleting, and reposting lengthy, detailed messages on social media. At one point, seemingly apologetic, and in another, conflating the knife incident that her younger sister says happened decades ago with a more recent confrontation, which Jamie Lynn says took place during the pandemic. In her book, Jamie Lynn describing a fight where it all came to a head. She came at me screaming and getting up in my face, while Jamie Lynn was holding her toddler Ivy in her arms.
She cursed at me, and so I just walked out of the room. I was like, we're just all family under one roof. I'm not trying to argue. And when I tried to remove myself from the situation, that's when I guess she just got really angry. And my oldest daughter tried to, mediate the situation. I hated that. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're 12.
But rather than respect everyone's feelings, Jamie Lynn says her family was reverting to unhealthy patterns. Her parents' response?
They told me that I shouldn't be upset. I can't upset Britney. I said, you just saw me and my children be upset. When will I matter?
Jamie Lynn says that she's finally standing up for herself, but her sister today posting this profanity-laden Instagram post, calling Jamie Lynn a selfish little brat, and worse.
Britney seems incredibly angry at her sister. She is not happy with this book. She is taking big swings. She's attacking her. She's mocking her.
And now Britney's legal team joining the fray, sending this cease and desist letter to her sister, accusing Jamie Lynn of exploiting Britney for monetary gain, and warning that publicly airing false or fantastical grievances is wrong, especially when designed to sell books. It is also potentially unlawful and defamatory.
Britney is basically telling Jamie Lynn, stop it. Stop talking about me. And if you don't, you're going to be in big trouble.
Britney's legal team also taking aim at her father, Jamie Spears. Britney's 13-year conservatorship and her father's role overseeing it was officially terminated by a judge in November. But that hasn't stopped the legal battle. Today, Britney's attorneys were in court fighting Jamie Spears' request to have Britney's estate pay his substantial legal fees. In court filings, Britney's lawyers claim that her father paid himself at least $6 million over 13 years for his role as conservator and engaged in self-dealing, financial and business mismanagement, accusing him of seeking to siphon even more money from his daughter. Attorneys for Jamie Spears said in court the allegations are false or taken out of context.
There is a presumption that when you are the conservator of the estate, you get a salary, you get a certain amount of money. He's entitled to that. Their position is that he engaged in wrongdoing, and as a result, that he shouldn't get that payment.
The conservatorship began in 2008. Britney was being hounded by the paparazzi and losing custody of her 2 young sons. After 2 hospitalizations, the court first gave Britney's father, Jamie, legal control over Britney's personal, professional, and financial affairs. Last summer, at the height of the Free Britney movement, Britney spoke out in court against the conservatorship, calling it abusive and overly controlling. The pop star saying she wanted to sue her family, lashing out at her father in particular, saying he should be put in jail. Britney also adding that her family profited off of her for years.
Britney really was the breadwinner from a very young age. That is one of the problems with childhood stardom, is that children are not supposed to be making the money to support their entire family.
Jamie Lynn says she too tried to help her big sister. Responding on Instagram, "Brit, I am always here. You know, behind the scenes, I have always been here."
So I feel like she was like I love her that much, and to have, you know, it's just so innocent to love your siblings, and especially me, because I loved her like she was my mama, you know?
And I wonder if you miss that innocent love, if you miss your sister.
Like, I love her like a mom, you know? You just feel like a mama's love is supposed to be unconditional. And no matter what, I'm always gonna look at her as like my big sister. It doesn't matter how old I am.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.